Okay, says we're live.
I,
I don't know if we are. I have no way to
I,
confirm.
I'm waiting to see. Let's see. Uh, uh,
Da, da,
hmm.
da.
Are you actually streaming to your show?
Should be streaming to that one that was scheduled.
I don't see you listed as live. Oh, live now. Now I see it.
Okay,
Huh.
yeah, probably severe delay, but yeah,
Oh
it's
boy.
working the Mac pretty hard here.
Yeah, it looks like a slideshow.
Oh, is it that bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says 15 frames per second, but the thing is, it should be. Maybe that's an OBS setting I need to tweak. Why is it? Yeah, why is it only 15 frames per second? I got enough bandwidth.
Just gonna mute it. Let's see. What are you sending?
Sending 1280 by 720 at 30 frames per second.
Okay. Yeah. It's definitely slideshow quality.
All right, let me bump it up here and see if it'll make it any better. It seems to be getting worse. Yeah, for some reason it's not getting above 15 frames a second.
But that's true.
Let's see. What? Let's see. JSON file. All right. Import. All right. Let's see. I have to do this the hard way. Check, check. Am I live? Oh. Well, I guess that's fine. I can be live while I set this up. Well, yeah, because I don't have anything set up in OBS yet. Let me get Skype. Let me get at least one scene set up so we can broadcast something, and then I'll worry about getting more stuff set up. Let's see. So everybody's watching nothing right now, although I guess they're hearing me. A little hot. Am I hot on the mic? I'm so hot on the mic. All right, let me back the mic down a little bit. Check, 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 check. That. All right. We get Skype started up here. So Bill can have his mug on there. Mug, that's your mug. All right. Doesn't seem. Okay.
Check. Check.
All right, let me see if you're coming through.
Check 1 2 1 2 3 10 12 4 5.
Yep, definitely seems like you're coming through.
I do have this really nice echo effect on me. It's kind of nice.
I think I've killed that.
Oh, did you? I'll wait for the stream to catch it. Oh yeah, it's gone now.
Okay. Yeah, I took care of that. So let me see. I can boost this back up.
You definitely have me way lower than you though.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to work on audio levels in a minute. Let me get video started.
Video? What's
Video, yeah. Let's see. Window capture. We want Skype. And Skype. We're gonna capture Skype or not?
I mean, I can always try to come in a little bit hotter.
Yeah.
Go out about my microphone.
No, that's the way it works.
Isn't that how it works? Holy cow! Let's see. I don't even know what my levels are. So I'm still a little light on my mic. I could probably get a little bit more volume out of it. That's about all I can send you.
Okay, what on earth is going on now? Is this OBS going to give me a problem? Can I not add things while I'm streaming?
Not in the existing scene, but you can definitely create a new scene.
Okay.
Need your OBS kung fu picked up.
Yeah, you.
Oh, I see a screen now.
It does not want to pick up Skype though.
It almost looks like Windows 10 there.
It is Windows 10.
Oh. Oh, that's so funny.
Capture method.
Now we've got some real hackery going on. If this doesn't work, then I'll stream it from here.
Yeah, that might be the way it goes here because Skype is not showing up. I'm choosing Skype as an input source.
Yeah.
And it is not showing up.
That would be tragic. Let's see here. Yes.
Can I make it fit? Is there a way to make it fit? Because I'm thinking the problem is the window's like the wrong size, but I can't see it.
Oh yeah, you can click the item and on your sources, and then you can right click it, and then you can say transform and fit to screen, or just Control F. That works too. Shit time.
Transform. Fit the screen. There it is. Okay, yeah, no, it's the size of the screen. It's just not showing anything.
Oh, that's the little Skype. Let's do the big Skype. Oops.
Is it because I was in Skype first? Surely not.
I don't know.
Let's see.
I see your video.
Yeah, but it's not an OBS. I've got Skype.exe.
Let's get rid of that one.
Yeah, because I can do that, and you should be able to see a browser window.
I can see the browser window.
And there, I switched over to the Chrome window, so you should be able to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Command prompt. Yep, so that shows up. And Microsoft Store. I didn't even have that open. Okay, I wonder if this is just OBS stream. Ready? Okay, it's definitely showing 30 frames per second now. Let me add image. LHS logo.
Looks better.
Pictures. Open. Good. As we blot out my entire existence with the logo.
Whoa, my gosh!
Yeah, you can watch me build OBS scenes live. All right, do that here. Okay, there. That looks kind of normal-ish.
I think I'm back on Chatteroni.
Chat. Okay. Desktop audio. Oh, yeah, those are muted. That's fine. Don't need those. Don't need that. Don't need that. Okay, how's the audio? Sound all right?
I'm going to turn down my local, and then I'll see if I can hear. Test 1, 2.
I can turn you up a bit here.
Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2.
There, how's that better?
Test 1, 2.
Yeah, you seem about the same as me now.
All right, cool. Yeah, that sounds better.
All right. So the stream is streaming. Excellent.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stop watching it so I don't hear the echo. Or the delayed stuff here. And let me kill some stuff locally on the computer. Let's see what we got going on here.
Yeah, it's actually streaming properly. No drop frames and only 4% CPU utilization. So I think we're good to go.
Yay for acceleration.
Yeah. Let me get a command prompt window open so I can SSH into something.
And let me try to, so we can also see if this works. You'll have to tell me. I'm going to try sharing my screen.
Your
Maybe?
screen.
Share screen. And we're going to share that one.
Okay.
So can you see my screen?
Eyes can see your screen.
Okay, so I should see my Oracle VirtualBox thingy. And the awesome logo underneath. Woohoo! So there we go. That stop sharing. So that will work.
Yep.
Good. I think we almost have our stuff figured out here.
Oops. I don't want to hide stuff. I want to lock stuff. Okay. There we go. All right, so I'm going to build, let's see, let me build a quick scene with my terminal here. We'll call it my terminal. And it decided to switch to it automatically. I'm not in studio mode, so maybe I should go to studio mode since I can actually do that on this one. All right, there we go.
Blowing stuff up.
Right. Okay, now we're in studio mode. All right, so I can build this scene without causing a kerfuffle. Window capture.
Oh, we're black. Did you switch the scene first?
It should. I switched it back. It should come back.
Oh, okay. That's just delayed.
Yeah. All right. I've got a terminal window. I've got a scene with a terminal window. Excellent. And I don't know what else we need. Maybe a browser window. Let me add a browser. Let's see. Browser. So I can show things on the browser. Window capture.
I think I'm going to put this right over here.
Let's do Chrome. And Chrome. Okay. Oh, now I'm hearing it coming back through Discord. Who's playing the stream through Discord?
Well, turn off Discord.
Yeah. All right. So there we go. I got enough scenes to make this useful. So I can switch over to Linux in the Ham Shack on the browser. I might as well maximize that. Let's see. Where's F11? There's F11. There we go. Okay, so can you see the browser on the stream? Is anybody watching the stream?
Yeah, I can see the browser on the stream.
All right, so now I'll come back to us. There we go. Okay.
Sure you want to show a browser that's not in...
No one can tell what browser it is. All right. So anyway, to the nobody who's watching now because of all the problems. It's okay.
Did you have a local recording going on too?
I did not start local recording because I'm not sure that matters, but I'll start that now. Okay.
Well, I mean, it was set up that way. Saved a file.
Yeah, I'm recording locally and streaming now. So,
because that way you can put a scrubbed video back up in lieu of this one.
All right. So anyway, well, welcome to our QSO Today Ham Expo live stream. Only almost 3 hours late? 2 hours late, I guess. No, it's 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah.
So not too bad.
Not too bad. It's a little worse than a typical episode. But
except for the ones we cancel, and those are pretty bad.
But I don't have to set up video for the other ones, so that's why it doesn't take quite as long. But
yeah, this is why we don't do a video podcast, because it's just too technical.
It's too technical, yeah. But anyway,
have faces for radio. Come on.
So this was just basically to have something going on during the expo, I think, and we were just gonna shoot the bull a little bit, maybe demo a thing or two. I know you had something you wanted to show as a screencast, and we'll probably get around to that. And let's see, I can probably show something on my screen too, but I don't know what yet. And let me see let me go back over to. Let's see. How do you switch windows in this stupid thing? All right.
Windows and
no,
scene switcher.
No, in Chrome, there's a keystroke for switching windows, or tabs rather.
Oh, I don't. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I don't have my Chrome foo in place. It's like there's like depends on which operating system, because I think some of the shortcuts like control left, right, or whatever actually changes your
Yeah. Well, we're not going to talk about operating systems.
the window orientation of the screen, which kind of messes things up.
Well, let's see. Alt left and right goes back and forward.
Yeah. Let's see.
Control Alt right, Control Alt left. No. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I just wanted to get to see if anybody was actually chatting up in the YouTube chat, which apparently they aren't, so we don't have to worry about it. So I'll go back over to.
I can see that actually from here. I believe. Yes, I can. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that.
Well, I'm going to connect to my shack computer just in case we want to show something there.
Howdy. Okay, so yeah, there are some people chatting. Tony's in there, of course, saying how technology sucks.
It certainly does.
Eric Livengood.
Yeah, that's KN4IIY. So let's see. Let me get back over here. All right. So maybe you should just go ahead and do something useful or interesting, because none of this is either of that.
Well, I did want to say that over on our, which you might want to go to the web browser, the media.ne4rd.live, where we have all of our images. There's a new image that's up there. There is an Ubuntu 2004.1 image of Ubuntu Budgie that I have quickly put together last night after the keynote in order to have something new and shiny to send out to everybody. So if you need it, it is there. And I'm going to find my window and switch to share my screen. And we'll boot that up and we'll take a quick look at it. So I have, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and start it. I'm going to put it over in the right window. And I actually haven't even installed it yet. So we'll bring it up here on my screen, and just skip the disk check if I can do that. It's not that. There we go. The check allowed me to skip. So I should zoom my screen in or something better, but we'll just leave it like that. Once it boots up, I'll. So there we go. We're in the live disk right now. So of course it'll probably pop up the installer. But just so we can take a look at it, this is this is Ubuntu Budgie. And let's see if we can make this a little bit bigger. Actually, I can just drag it a little bit. And since this is Ubuntu, it should resize the window maybe? Survey says. Nope, I guess not. Displays. There we go. We'll just do it the old-fashioned way. It is, let's see, what can we go over here? I can go something like that. Should probably be fine. And that moved over here. So, okay. So the Ubuntu Budgie is right here. There's the little welcome screen. We have Ubuntu Budgie has two different menu types. They have a tiling menu that you're used to seeing if you're a GNOME user. If you click this little button here, it brings it down to a really standard looking menu. But you can see in the live disk, we actually have all the Pure Blend packages are installed. So you'll find things like Cubic SDR, Qt SDR, FLDigi, FLRig, GRig, GPredict, PyQso, Tuknock, Trusted QSL, and a bunch of other stuff that you can find in the Pure Blend packages. I did put the latest version of WSJTX, not the latest from the general release, but latest from the repo is actually in here. This is version 2.12, I believe, or 2.14. Let's just pop it up real quick. 2.12, yeah. So 2.12 is the version. So that's in there on the live disk. So that means you can try it before you use it. CQR log is there as well, and that does run. It has MariaDB as the back end. So you can use CQR log. And the nice part about this is if you do go through and run the installer, which most of you are probably pretty familiar with Ubuntu's installer by now. If you've been using Ubuntu in the past, it hasn't changed in quite a while. It's real easy to step through everything. We've done nothing to the build. It's basically the same build in ISO that you can download off of the website, for the Ubuntu Budgie website, or you can even use an Ubuntu regular or Xubuntu or whichever one you want to use. All the installers look the same, and they just walk you through, very simple, what language are you, which keyboard do you have. You can even have a detect your keyboard. What kind of installation do you want? So if you do a minimal installation, it will wipe out all the extra packages I've already installed. So you don't have to do that. I would recommend using the normal installation. This way, it'll install everything that is listed as installed on the live disk. So you should see the same packages and everything else. You can check these boxes here that say download updates while installing. It's always useful because it'll go ahead and pre-patch everything in case there's any security updates, and you don't have to do that after you boot. And there's also the install third-party software for graphics and Wi-Fi hardware and additional media formats. So this is the familiar, well, it used to be they didn't install MP3 and stuff like that, but this also allows you to install, if you have like an NVIDIA graphics card, AMD or something like that has a separate driver set, it'll go ahead and install that for you. I think AMD's standard now, so it shouldn't do that. So once you check those, you basically hit continue, and let's see here. I am running this on a virtual machine, if you haven't figured that out already. Are you there, Russ, still?
Of course I am.
Okay, you're just very quiet.
Well, you're going on and explaining the Ubuntu build, so I'm letting you do so.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. So the installation type is the next screen that comes up here. Now, this will be different for everyone. Obviously, I have an empty machine. This doesn't have any install on it, so I'm going to have it go ahead and erase the disk and install Ubuntu Budgie. They do have advanced features where if you want to use LVM, you want to encrypt, you want to use ZFS, and that's why they put experimental on there. Erase disk and use ZFS. So you don't have to use any of that stuff. You can just use the default features. You can also customize it completely by saying something else, and that will launch a utility to do such. You may need to, break out the old gparted if you get into getting too advanced. So buyer beware. If you start messing around with this in your install, you may or may not have the desired result, especially if you're trying to dual boot. Definitely follow some tutorials for installing Ubuntu Budgie or Ubuntu next to your operating system of choice. The next thing it'll tell you is like, hey, are you sure you want to write those changes to the disk? You go ahead and do that. You hit the continue button. And let's see how painful it's going to be. It should automatically detect your time zone based upon IP location information. So yes, Big Brother's watching you. You just hit continue, and then you set up your account. This can be whatever you're going to do. So I'm just going to say nerd, password, who cares? Yes. Okay. It doesn't like me just being real simple. And it's going to tell you if your password stinks or not. It doesn't matter, whatever. You can have it so it's automatically logging you in, which is, if you don't really care about security too much and, you just want it to be on when you turn it on and off when you turn it off, that's probably the way you want to go. For my purposes, I'm just going to go ahead and say, yeah, sure, I don't care. These are throwaway systems. And then it's just going to go ahead and copy and install your files to your local hard drive. Again, mine's a VM, so it could take a while, and we may or may not care about going further on this, but we'll go ahead and let that finish up while it's going. I have so this is the build that we have downloadable. I have been working on some other installations that I have queued up here in my virtual box, including the BSD and the ham shack, because everybody wants the BSD and the ham shack. That's there. I have also I have the Mint install. This is the version 19. So I have not upgraded that yet, and I haven't installed the latest version. Let's see, where's my window at? There's that. Hey, it's almost finished copying files. We might let that finish. Let's see here. Oh, now my alt tab is caught there. So yeah, that is downloadable as of now, and if you've used our discs in the past, it's just as easy. You can put it on a thumb drive. It's an ISO image. If you actually burn it to hardware like DVD or whatever, go right at it. It's a 64-bit version only because that's all that's available now in 20.04. So if you have a really old architecture machine, it's probably time to just use something else besides Ubuntu or use an older version of Ubuntu. I think 1804 still had a 32-bit build, and those will continue to get packages throughout its LTS timeframe. So I shouldn't have any problems with that. What else do we got? I can't think of anything with this particular build. This is pretty much it's going to look exactly the same once it's done going. Right now it's actually grabbing those updates. So this is 20.04.1, which was just released on Thursday or Friday. So it's not very old, but I have seen updates already. So I wouldn't be surprised to see what we get here. Let's see. And you can be nosy and watch the installer go and see what it's actually doing. Let's see here.
I'll give you a hint. It's installing.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it also removes things and does other things too. But
yeah, it'll auto remove any packages that are no longer needed for dependency reasons and stuff like that. Yeah, look at that. It's kind of going.
Well, that's what you got.
Not
you got
bad
a super
for a VM,
fast
huh?
machine over there.
Well, this is an older machine. This is a Dell Precision M4600, so it has some guts. It has a real i7 in it. Old generation though, so I can't even remember which generation it is. It's got 32 gigs of RAM, so I can give the VMs quite a bit of oomph to go forward. But of course, the limiting factor is always bandwidth, and bandwidth isn't always our friend. So let's see here. Anybody else? Okay. Look like the chat room. We got a hi Bill and a hi Russ from Eric. And finally, why not the left window? Tony says. Tony wants to see my left window. So I will switch screens. So there you go. You can see my my left window, which really isn't very exciting. It looks just like my right window. So, and there's our Discord
Discord server, yes.
People.
Definitely url.bcts.info/discord to get into our Discord. And the Expo has generated some interest in the Discord. We've got a lot of new people in there since last night, which is kind of cool. And yes, there's also during the Expo itself, there is the chat. So if you find our booth, you can go to the chat link right below it. And there's folks in the chat. I can't see how that's kind of small to me, but how many people are in the chat right now?
Yeah. So right now we have, well, it says 66, but that can't be right. No, unless they reset the server.
I think they reset it nightly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was up to 343 earlier today. So we have quite a bit in there. I think there's 54 people in there right now. So maybe I bet you the server kind of did a quick little reboot. But yeah, the booth looks pretty cool. Here, I'm gonna let's see if I can
See if you can zoom in.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta get on the right screen. Here we go. Look at that. I'll just zoom that puppy on in there. I use the Mac's Magic Pad for everything, so zooming in on web pages is a bit tough. So I have a spare mouse laying here as well. It's all connected up. So yeah, so here's the booth. Looks really slick. Got a couple of links here. Obviously, one to join the Discord, so that's been getting a lot of clicks. And we have obviously the website over here. The shop is linked on this side, and then the main website is linked on top. Down below here, got of course, the good old description of what we're doing and what we're about, and more links to everything about us. Our YouTube channel, which if you're watching this, you've already found us. So go ahead and click the subscribe button. We're gonna try to get some more content on there. We're not really a YouTube podcast.
We're not a video podcast, but we are sort of in the middle of a project to get all of our existing audio episodes posted as YouTube videos. So if you are the kind of person who does a lot of YouTube, you'll be able to find all the content there as well. There won't be any video except when we do shop talks or special events or live roundtables with video or things like that, because generally we're just audio. But at least you can find the content there. And the show notes will be pasted as notes on each video too. So all of the content will be together.
Yeah, and you can find links to our Twitter and our everything else, merchandise. I see we already had a merchandise sale this morning, so that's really cool.
Yes, it is.
And of course, this is our website. And again, if you only had our website, you would still be able to find all the links to YouTube, Discord, and everything else. And let's see what's going on. There's a chat room on the booth right now is going. It looks like Harry's talking to Don. And what else? Anything else? Let me switch back over to... and I'm also running Ubuntu Budgie here. That's why you can see... I'm losing my mind. Where is it at? Let's see. Skype. I actually really want to go to Skype. Let's see. Let's switch screens again. Let's go back over here. And we got the system has already finished installing and it rebooted. And it's just coming up. Let's see if the auto resize is kicking in yet. No, it's not. So let's just make that bigger again. Desktop. Or no. Displays. And if you haven't used Ubuntu Budgie, wow, the start menu is awesome because you can start typing stuff in. Like I want FL Digi. There it is, FL Digi. If you don't want to navigate via the old menu tree style. Let's see here. I'm going to make this bigger. Yeah, let's just do that. Apply. That should be good enough. Keep this configuration. Yeah. So look, it already needs updates again. How about that? So yeah.
So in many ways, it's just like Windows.
Yeah, it's just like Windows. But the nice part about using the installer is it already goes through all the steps you need to do this part, adding all the software and stuff like that. And again, it's not all the software. It's just the items that are in the Ham Radio Pure Blend, the things that you'll still have to do. I don't want that. Although that's pretty cool. Quisk is. Hello, test 1 2. Test 1 2. There we go. You can see my voice coming through on Quisk. That's pretty cool. Yes, it does use audio. And let's see here. Let's see. Let's see. I should be able to zoom this in too, right? Preferences. I don't always use this, so sorry. I know it's here somewhere, Russ. Where's it at?
I don't know.
You're all on your own. Bigger. Oh, well. Hopefully you can read that. I mean, we're only pushing out 720p, so it's not like it's that hard to It's hard to see this. So, of course, you're still going to need to add your user to the dial-out group should you need to. So, you'd normally do user add on yours, right? So I always do
Yes.
user mod.
Well, I use add user, not user add.
Dial out, and my user, NE4RD. I think that's all I need to do, right? Type in your password. So now if you look in the groups file, if I did that right, we should be able to see that. And I know it's going to be small on your screen. If I go and find the dial-out group, you'll see that Direwolf has a user there, and so do I now. So now if I have a serial port connection to my handy-dandy ham radio, I can now talk through serial communications as well as like USB serial communications and stuff like that. So that's about the only thing you'll need to do once you install this, and then you're off to the races with plugging in your equipment and, getting something like FL Rig, or if you want to, use something else, you can. Obviously, I use FL Rig. I think it's really easy to set up, and it's quite it has most of the rigs that that you guys have. I'm sure it is covered here. If it's not, then you can also try using HamLib. and if it's not in HamLib, then so sorry, it's not covered. But as you can see, lots and lots and lots and lots of rigs are covered here. So it's very simple to set up. You select your rig, you select which device it's plugged into, and you can see generally USB devices that are plugged in come in by name. So if you happen to have two that are very similar, you might have to look at the serial number. Another trick, which we've shown you in some of our previous episodes, maybe not shown you, right? But let's see. Let's go back to this. You could always do I'm kind of lazy. I always do dmessage, and I just plug in the device, and then I just do dmessage again, because it'll be the last thing that just came in, and it'll have all the USB information and stuff like that on the device. There's other ways you can do it. You can do LS USB, of course. That way you can figure out what devices you have. And that's about it to get you going. I mean, obviously, we just did that in not more than like 15 or 20 minutes, and that's on a virtual machine. So imagine how fast it would be on a regular machine that has real hardware instead of a compressed file sitting on my box here. So I think let's stop sharing the screen right now and just come back to me.
All right, I'll add me. So there we go. Hey, you can see both.
Yeah, so it's not my big old noggin sitting there in the screen.
Well, let's see. I can move us around too, so I can move you there, and let's see. I had all this stuff locked. This is where we play with stuff live here. So I'll move. No, I don't want to move you. I want to resize you there, and then I'll resize me. There we go. So hey, now it's like the Brady Bunch. Except I have to actually transition over so everybody can actually see those changes. So there we go. So I'll wave to Bill. Well, let's see. No, I guess he's up over here. Hi.
And of course, I can't see it until it comes
up on the stream, right? Because there's a pretty significant delay. But there you go. I'm gonna go over to my terminal for a second because I wanted to show something that you didn't really show. You use the user mod command, and I don't ever do that. I use add user, sudo add user, and then you put the user you want to add to a group, and that would be like me for us, and the group dial out, and that's all there is to it. Sudo add user Russ audio, or sudo, or tape, or whatever. Just add or root. Hey, why not? I'll add myself to the root group. There we go. So add user you don't need to remember user mod tac C or whatever the heck was that you were doing. Let's see what else. Let's see, you mentioned LS USB, which is nice. You get to see all the different USB. LS and some thing is pretty useful in a lot of ways, because you can do like LS CPU, shows you all the CPUs in your machine. You can do LSHW, which shows you like literally all the hardware on your machine. What else? What other LS things are there? LSHW, CPU, USB, PCI, LS PCI. If you want to see your PCI devices. Any other useful things from the command line for LSing? HTOP, great application for seeing what your computer is doing.
Yeah, you got that. NeoFetch, if you want to look at a pretty screen with all your information on it. I think that comes by default now as installed.
There was, what was it before? It was like Screen Fetch, and now it's NeoFetch.
Yeah, it's. But I think Neo is already installed. I think Screen Fetch you always had to install separately.
Right. So there you can look and see what my Shack computer is running there, and you can see that it's kind of a dog. But it is running Ubuntu 20.04.1, the Ham Shack build, except it started out as the older build, and then I updated it. But
well, that's a nice part. Is like they continually update themselves. So,
yep. Let me see. Do I have any updates? I bet I do. You watch me update my machine here. I can't show anything like by X Windows because I don't have any way to forward X to the operating system I'm using. And all right, let me go ahead and switch back to us. Don't have any other terminal foo. Oh, we did talk about this on previous episodes, but I wanted to show it. So before I switch out of my terminal, if you go to /dev, you'll see on my machine there's a device called LS or TS570D, which is a pointer to TTY USB 0. And this is nice, so you can actually name your machines as devices if you have some sort of rig interface. Like in my case, I'm using a Tigertronics. But you can do it for anything, and this is all handled by udev. So if you go to etsy udev.de, etsy udev, oh, stop it, rules.de. You can see I have a file in here called 99-usb-serial.rules, and I'll show you the contents of, oh, stop it. Tell Windows to shut itself up. Anyway, so I have a couple of PL2313 serial dongles that have different vendor and product IDs for some reason. But I put them both into here so that no matter which one I'm using, it will realize that I have a device that's plugged into my Kenwood TS570D, and it will create that link between the USB device and a device called that. So when you're referencing it in an application like FLDigi or WSJTX or whatever it is you happen to be using, it will always be called TS570D no matter what the USB device label is. And I think we've all found, the people who use this, that it's super handy. So there you go. And back to us.
Sweet. Sorry, I was answering chat room questions and stuff.
Yes,
like
I hear
that,
the little chat thing bleeping quite a bit. So
yeah, if I'm doing that, sorry, or if I look like I'm not paying attention, which never happens, I swear.
Oh, it's quite all right. Did we talk about the software or open source software awards on the show? I think we did we not?
The open source
software awards. I feel like we talked about that.
We may have mentioned it. I can't recall when that would have been.
I can't either, but I feel like we did. But anyway, we're going to be talking about that more because we're going to have an interview with the creator of the Open Source Software Awards. So,
oh, cool.
Look for that in an upcoming deep dive episode, more than likely. Unless it's not that deep a topic, in which case it'll be part of another program, but it'll be on the show coming up for sure. I believe we already have a couple of other topic suggestions that have come in via email, But I do want to encourage anyone who sees this, if you have a deep dive topic that you'd like to have us cover, and it can be open source or amateur radio or a combination of the two, or maybe even something that's a little further afield. I'm not sure necessarily what that would be, but if it's a topic you think we might be able to cover, we're certainly willing to try and tackle it. So send it our way. lhspodcast.info is where you find all the links to all the things, including our email address. So send it our way, and also send us feedback. We love to hear feedback. You can tell us how crappy our videos are, or whatever you want to do. It's fine. We'll take it all. It is weird to have to be looking this way when I'm.
Yeah, I know. I'm like don't know which screen to look at, because I normally have my show notes set up on one screen. I'm recording on that computer over there, and so it's really
it's
peculiar.
A little odd right now, but that's okay. We'll make it.
So
work.
I see Rich is in the chat room, the QSO Today Virtual Ham Expo chat room.
Yes,
K0EB, giving us crap. He's like, hey, I hope you would put the complete out-of-the-box, one-stop remote super rig open source setup together. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Well, not today.
I think that's what Rig Pi promised, but I still haven't seen any software on their GitHub. So, but I think they were waiting. What did he say he was waiting when we had him on the show? Like, was it like a year or something like that?
Yeah, it wasn't dealing with manufacturing that was an issue.
Yeah, he said once MFJ has it, I think there was like a moratorium on making the source code for everything available.
Yeah.
But it is all open source. And technically, I think you could push that it should be released. I don't know. Maybe not. It depends on what license it's under. And since we haven't seen it, we don't know which license it's under.
I'm sure when it becomes closer to actual fruition and actual release, then we'll be talking about it again. But it's kind of a neat project, and yes, it's probably the closest thing to a ham shack in a box that there is, at least on the horizon right now. But we'll find out more about that as time goes on, I imagine.
Yeah. So I had someone in the chat room, Harry W3YJ, ask about how you transported your audio and stuff from your ham shack to Hamvention. Do you want to talk a little bit about how you set that up?
Sure. There was two different ways I did it, and one didn't really transport audio. I actually had a screen forwarded via exporting for one application where it didn't have to have any audio locally at Hamvention. It just had to have the audio at home and show the video output, and that was for PSK 31 using FLDigi. Well, no, that wasn't for that, because I did that the other way. Some application I had running locally, I think it might have been I don't even remember, but all I was doing was showing the output locally, and the video and the audio was being decoded remotely, i.e. here in my shack. But then for FLDigi, I was actually running a local copy of FLDigi at Hamvention on the machine there, and I was forwarding the audio using Pulse Audio across the internet from my shack over to Hamvention. And Pulse Audio has the ability, kind of simply, to create a TCP stream from the audio for your machine. I cannot, off the top of my head, tell you the flags and things you have to use to get that to work, but it's not that hard. If you Google for Pulse Audio TCP, or
Pulse Audio over network will get you a good description of one. The module itself is called module-native-protocol-TCP, strangely enough. So all you do is you load that, and you can set it up with how you want it to actually appear. and whether you want to have any authentication, because it can also add authentication and stuff like that to it. But you can get as complicated or as non-complicated as you want with it. But yeah, it seemed to work really well.
It did, and on the remote end, all you have to do is set up FL Digi to point to the Pulse Audio stream for the audio device, and it will just start decoding. And as long as you have a reasonably good internet connection between whatever your source audio is and your remote decode site, then you will get reasonable decodes. So,
yeah. So let's see here. Just answering something real quick. One sec.
sure, no problem. We're here just to shoot the bull or whatever. So, are we going to do? Are we like hanging out tonight, like in the Discord and whatnot? I mean, you got anything going on?
I do not have anything going on. I may go out for dinner, but then obviously we'll be back. So probably tonight, yeah, it'll be a good night for hedonism. I already have my cigar and whiskey ready. Of course, it'll probably be a different whiskey by then, but but yeah, it was pretty fun last night. We all kind of some of us watched the keynote last night at the convention here.
I watched as much of it as I could.
Yeah, it was interesting. So I actually just watched it. I didn't listen to it because I was already on the Discord Hangout channel where we can do video and audio all at the same time. So there was like 3 or 4 of us in there. You popped in. You were inside the house working on some project, and then you decided to go outside and everything else. But yeah, then we started. As soon as that finished up, we started getting people chatting in the chat room on the Expo software fairs or whatever you want to call it. And so as we were bringing some people over to Discord, and yeah, sure enough, we had like 2 or 3 new people show up in Discord and actually popped up on video and chatted with us for a little bit. And that was great. I think one of the new guys is a brand new ham, basically. He got his license, a month or 2 ago?
Yep.
Yuri. And he hung out to the very end, so we closed out the bar there. So
well, we might try and do that
good
again.
Chats.
And so if you just want to come hang out with us, we'll be in the Discord, most likely in the hedonism chat, because I imagine we'll all have something to drink and maybe a cigar or something like that. So if that's kind of your thing, you don't have to have either of those. But if you just want to come hang out and chat and watch a couple of people who have faces for radio, smoke cigars, and drink, we'd love to have you come by. So hit the Discord. And if nothing else, just hit the Discord and come chat with us via text too. You can do that. There's a pretty good community, and it's thanks to the QSO Today Ham Expo getting bigger all the time. So I guess I don't have anything else to contribute. Do you?
Not really. I know we've had a lot of questions about the videos we have up here on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Basically because they're a little out of date, and I don't think some people realize that Ubuntu does change pretty drastically between LTS releases, and that particular video was shot using 1710, I believe, was what I originally started out with. So this was before the 1804 LTS release. So I was on the 6-month builds, and I did those videos. So some of the thoughts don't necessarily match what I personally have on my machine today. Like, I do not have any ham radio PPAs installed because they're not quite as current as they once were, and some don't even have builds for focal fossa. So they're not as useful as they were back when we shot the video. So we had a lot of people, and we've covered it on the feedback and stuff like that. And occasionally, I remember to come into YouTube and look through all of our mentions and try to reply back and say, yeah, the videos are old. I know they're old, and I have started recording some based upon the builds I just did. I have Xubuntu, kind of a video going, but I'm kind of thinking I want to change how I'm doing those. I kind of want to just start and do get set up some minimal criteria for a ham radio ready build. It has to have a logger, has to be able to run digital modes, including like FT8 and RIDI or something like that, and have rig control. So like those four things there, I think are what I would consider minimal acceptable criteria for a ham radio ready system. And that's when I kind of discovered, going into like BSD, I had launched an installation of Ghost BSD, that you could do just that. You could install, stuff that you just need to use, instead of always going in like we do on our fun disk there, throwing in the full pure blend packages. It has, the whole kit and caboodle of random stuff from, CW practice stuff to antenna design and everything else, which you really don't need for it to be ham radio ready. I think, if you can just get some specific programs in there so you can function in your operating system, which most can very minimally. You don't have to install a billion packages to get these going. So I think I'm going to kind of focus on that and do a full series doing, all the major builds: Ubuntu, Fedora, BSD, which would most likely be Ghost BSD because it's more desktop oriented, Linux Mint, Fedora, and SUSE, OpenSUSE. So I'll probably start that fairly soon, and that'll be the newer content. We obviously don't want to get rid of the old content because, it's fine for archival purposes, but I wouldn't use it for longevity. Like most videos, they do kind of age out at some point.
Right.
And these are very specific technical videos. I'm not saying I'm a very technical person, but there are nuances between the versions of Ubuntu base installation that affect the validity of some of the choices that were made in those videos. So take them as just a kind of a grain of salt. Look at what we've done with the Ubuntu builds up on our server. They're linked in the main web page, and those ISOs kind of represent what you can do quite easily without getting too picky about grabbing individual packages. I think that the next big thing that we're looking at doing, someone did request a video on compiling WSJTX for your system. So I think we might do that as like a separate one. It's actually pretty easy to get all the dependencies set up for that. So we can definitely make a video for that. And anything else that you'd like, including, deep dive topics for the podcast, because really we're not a video cast, we're a podcast. So it would definitely be available to look at those ideas.
Yep. Oh, you know what? I didn't have audio on my terminal thing, so when I was typing all that stuff, no one could hear anything.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. Sometimes I'm just not a fan.
Well, we're not, this is why we don't do video. When we do audio, it's just one channel. We don't have to worry about it. It's so easy, but who cares?
That's all right. You can at least kind of see what was going on there, if nothing else. I don't think anyone in the chat even said anything about there not being video or audio, so maybe there was audio. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, there's only 5 people watching, so
yeah, it's okay. Well, hopefully they'll watch later.
You can always dub some stuff over in the edited video and send it back out.
Well, that's true. I do have the recorded, so I might do that. All right. Well, we'll probably try and do another one of these tomorrow. I don't know when, but I'll put something up on YouTube. So if you happen to be scouting out YouTube, you'll see an upcoming event for another live stream. And we'll try and do this again and try and put out some more YouTube content as well as our normal episodes. And we really appreciate everybody stopping by the QSO Today Ham Expo and browsing all the vendors and everything that's going on over there, checking out the speakers and all that. and using it as a reference point to come over to Linux in the Ham Shack and be a part of our community. So thanks, everybody. And we will talk to you again next time. We don't have any of this cool lower thirds or anything on this video, so I guess, and we didn't introduce ourselves to begin with. So I guess we'll introduce ourselves now as we leave. For those who don't know, my name is Russ. I'm K5TUX. I started this podcast with Bill, or not Bill, with Richard. Yeah, try and jump in there. Richard KB5JBV back in 2008, and we're still going strong. Had a little bit of turnover in the co-host department, but we're doing all right. And my co-host, who's over there, I guess, up there, is.
Oh, Bill, NE4RD. And I've been around since, what did we say, episode 167 or something like that?
Somewhere in there, yeah. So quite some time now. And
yeah, I've seen a few episodes.
And Cheryl is our other co-host and my significant other, W5MOO. She's obviously not here on the stream, but with us in spirit, and she's on all the audio casts. So, all right, thanks everybody for tuning in, and hopefully we'll do another one of these on Sunday to close out the Expo, and then we'll have a regular episode, well, 2-episode recording actually on Monday night. So that's busy. Timely for like anybody who watches this soon, and if you're watching this like way in the future, then kind of ignore all of that.
Are we pre-recording something too on Monday morning, midday, afternoon?
No, I think that's like Thursday or something. I don't know. I'll have to look at the dates. Is it the 10th? Okay, yeah, then I guess so. Yeah. So then I guess that's the case. If that's what's on the calendar, then that's what we're doing.
Sweet.
All right. So lots of content coming up. Thanks everybody for stopping by, and join all the things that make Linux in the Ham Shack: the Twitter, the Facebook, the YouTube, the Discord, and all of that. And we'll be chatting with you soon. Take care.
And the Patreon too.
Oh, and the Patreon too. Patreon's good. Yeah, we take PayPal. There's also a merchandise store. Don't forget any of that. So, yeah. Later.
73.
Okay.